here we are, bang on time, Amy, at the end of the day. It's an incredible achievement, isn't it? So, welcome back. If you've been in all the different workshops that have been going on throughout the day, it's great to have you back here in room one. And a warm welcome if you're joining us for this ceremony too. We're really pleased to have you here and welcome you to the second Socrates Medal Award. We began last year with two awards, Amy, didn't we? Which are very
Yeah, well,
special.
one of those
Yes.
was for 2024 and one for 2025. So we're catching up with ourselves. So there is one award per year.
Yeah.
So we have awarded a medal to Paul Wong and to Irv Yalom. And this year we will be awarding the medal to Dr. Evgenia Georganda. And I should probably say what the Socrates Medal is. So the Socrates Medal, which you can see here, is an award. So that's Socrates there, and that is the logo of the existential movement. So it is an annual award that is given to exceptional individuals who have spent a lifetime really sharing wisdom with the world, because that is our motto, to bring wisdom to the world. In fact, we even use the Latin in our logo, which is sapientia ad mundum, wisdom to the world. And so we choose somebody each year who is worthy of this award, which is to mark them out and to give our gratitude to them for having made such a contribution to the world. And I think we have a very wonderful person this year in Evgenia, and we shall be hearing lots about her, and we shall all understand why she is so deserving of this award.
Yes. There's going to be lots of parts to the ceremony, and thank you for introducing me. Really appreciate it, giving us some context as we then move into our third ceremony for the Socrates Medal. Yeah. I think we wanted to go next to Katerina to do some introductions for
Yes, but
Evgenia.
we should have Evgenia on screen, shouldn't we? We should
Yes,
ask her to
yes.
join us. There she is, and she is surrounded by some family members, I believe. Would you like to introduce the people next to you to us, Evgenia? Welcome to your ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I have my youngest niece on my right and
That's
my
Eleni.
husband on my left.
That's your husband. Hello, George.
This is George and this is Lily.
Oh, Lily.
Yes.
Eleni will join us
Eleni
via...
is abroad, so she's going to join us from abroad.
Fantastic. Well, that's lovely. It's very nice to see you so well surrounded for this very special moment.
Yes, I feel very lucky.
Yes, very good indeed.
You're kind of
So,
shored up on both sides there, Evgenia.
yes,
It's lovely. It's
yes, well
really lovely.
supported.
Yes.
Very nice indeed. So, shall we ask Katerina to join
Yeah.
us?
Katerina, we'll bring you on the screen. Lovely. And I think we've got you muted
Yeah.
right now.
Yes,
So
yes,
there we
yes.
go.
I
Lovely.
did my unmuting.
Thank you. Thank you
So,
for
good
that.
evening, everyone. For me, it's an honor to stand here and say some words about my friend, a person who has been with me in my life for the last 3 decades. I will start with some bio because I think this is what I am supposed to do for the people who
Yes,
don't know Evgenia
yes,
and her achievements.
yes.
But afterwards, I'd like just to keep you 1 minute to share some words as a friend. If it's
Absolutely.
possible.
That
Okay.
would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because now I'll go to the achievements of
Yes.
Dr. Evgenia
The
Georganda.
official story.
The official story that makes her so important in the academic community and in the world of the existential approach. So Evgenia Georganda is an existential humanistic psychotherapist based in Athens, Greece. She earned her doctoral degree from the Massachusetts School of Professional Psychology and her master's degree from Tufts University. After completing psychology studies in Athens with the highest of honors. Since 1986, she has been practicing as a mental health professional and has been active member of the American Psychological Association and of Division 32, Humanistic Psychology, member of the European Association for Psychotherapy, the Federation for Existential Therapy in Europe, FETE, and other major professional organizations. Many of those are here located in Greece. They're very, very important organizations here. She has taught extensively at undergraduate and postgraduate levels in Greece and internationally, and has presented at numerous conferences. Her publications include 4 books, 2 photography albums. She's an excellent photographer, by the way, and many articles in Greek and international journals and collective volumes. She has worked extensively with individuals facing chronic or life-threatening illnesses and has served as secretary of the board of directors of the Thalassemia International Federation, secretary of the board of directors of the National Organization of Psychotherapists of Greece, and membership secretary and member of the board of trustees of the Federation for Existential Therapy in Europe. As part of her contribution to promoting existential therapy in Greece, she co-founded in 2004 the Hellenic Association for Existential Psychology, Gignaste, where she serves as a member of the board, trainer, and supervisor. She is an honorary member of the Board of Advisors of the Journal of the Humanistic Psychologist, published by Division 32 of APA, and of the International Advisory Board of the Existential Movement. In 2023, she was honored with the Charlotte and Karl Bühler Award from APA Division 32 for her and Gignaste's outstanding and lasting contribution to humanistic psychology. So this is the formalities, which we could say even more and more. But now I want to just keep 1 minute talking about my friend Evgenia. Evgenia and I met in 1998 in an academic environment. When I look back, I'm sorry I wrote this because I was very moved when I was writing this, so now I need to read what I wrote, okay? So when I look back at that time, I realized how lucky I was to cross my path with someone who would not only be a respected colleague, as she is until today, but one very good friend. 20 years is a long time. Yet when I look at her, and I'm looking at you now, Evgenia, I still see the same spark and mostly the same integrity that struck me from the first day I met you. To work with Evgenia is to be in the presence of a truly bright mind. I've always admired her for her depth, the depth of her knowledge, and the clarity of her ideas. She has this rare gift for cutting through the noise and getting straight to the heart of a matter with a quiet stance that inspires everybody in the room. But beyond her intelligence, what I admire most is her stance as a human being. Evgenia, you are a person who lives by a compass. You're always ready to defend your values, never wavering when it comes to what is right and just for you, in a world that often encourages and prompts us to compromise. Your steady stance, for me, is a pillar of safety, and mostly accountability. I know you're there. We see this integrity in how she treats those around her. Evgenia, whether it's a fellow co-worker or a student, you just uh, you just unfailingly are fair and kind to all of us, co-workers, friends, and beginner students. You're always looking for the right solution, while others might be seeing an obstacle. You're always ready to provide solutions to difficulties that always and inevitably appear in all these years that we have been working together. And you seem to make the journey smoother for those who are part of your team. You're really a leader. I will mention one challenge, although while being with you, Evgenia, so many years. And Evgenia has a rhythm of her own. She possesses a certain, I will call it, productive impatience. This is what Evgenia has. She isn't interested in leaving for tomorrow what can be conquered today, and maybe yesterday, if it was possible. She's always one step ahead, always preparing for the next milestone, while the rest of us are still catching our breath. It is her tireless drive that pushes us all to feel better and to go on, preparing for what's the next step. Finally, above all these titles and professional achievements, it's the person Evgenia. She's an incredible human being. She's a friend who shows up when things are tough. Thank you for these 28 years of inspiration, for your friendship, and for always showing us the beauty of a life lived with purpose. This is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Katerina.
Yes, I really wish for the many steps next still to come for all of us. And thank you for hosting me and inviting me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've captured a lot of the things that that I recognize as well. Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's
John,
28 years working together and being friends.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful description. And I think we're going to go to Eleni next. I think come to Eleni next.
Eleni, yes.
Eleni, yes.
There she is.
There we are. Great.
Hello, Eleni.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank
And
you.
see you very well as well.
Yeah, with my dad, Evgenia's brother. So the whole family is
Oh,
here today.
really?
Yeah.
Right.
how
Oh, how
lovely.
wonderful.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Evgenia's brother.
Okay, I will also share a few words. From
Go
our
ahead.
whole family. Yes.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So it's truly an honor for our family, Yorgos, Evgenia's husband, Dimitris, her brother, for my sister Lily, and myself, Eleni, her nieces, to be here today celebrating this wonderful achievement and to share a few words about Evgenia. Growing up next to each other in Athens, Nia, as my sister and I have always called her, was our safe space and the cool aunt that everyone would hope for. The person we went to share our secrets, talk through our fears and dreams, and ask the questions our parents would never allow. As children, we didn't really know much about her professional world. Her work, her achievements, her vision, her books, her students. We also didn't know much about her health conditions and also everything that came with them. To us, she was a warm hug, kind words by the fireplace, long walks in the Greek mountains, and endless laughter. Only later did we begin to step into her world. We started reading her books and those of other existential psychotherapists and philosophers. We studied psychology, attended workshops at the Ignaste, listened to her talks, and followed her work at international conferences.
Wow.
Along the way, my sister and I began to realize that her world was much bigger than we had ever imagined. And most importantly, the role she played in it and the impact that she had, like mother, like daughter, was far greater than she ever shared with us. Out of humility, she never spoke about it. But over the past years, it became clear just how profound her influence has been, not only to us, but also on so many people, young and old, friends and colleagues, students, and countless of others who read her work, watched her lectures, followed her ideas, and were guided by her path. Today, we're incredibly proud and deeply moved that she's receiving the recognition she so richly deserves. We hope this award not only becomes a milestone, but also a moment for her to truly see, embrace, and be proud of what she has given to so many people and to us, her family, over the years. We love you very much. We're very proud and could not be happier to be here with you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Helene.
Thank you so much. That's very lovely, lovely words
Thank you for having
indeed.
us. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's
And-
very moving that you should have two nieces who feel like that about you. I think that says a lot about you, Evgenia, doesn't it? What do you think about that, Evgenia?
What can I say? I mean, the whole thing is a little bit too overwhelming for me. And I'm really very honored with everything. And I guess, again, it will take me some time to process everything that I hear. And maybe I will listen to the recording again so that I can have, the understanding of everything, because right now it's really I feel very moved, and of course, I guess it's my time to speak.
Well,
Wasn't Evie going to speak first?
oh, yes.
Who?
Evie?
Oh, okay. Well, okay, sure.
Or if you prefer Evie to speak after you? Evie was going to speak now, wasn't she?
Let's see if we can. Yeah.
Is she here?
She's here.
Yes, Evie. Let's see if we can.
There she is.
Yes.
Hi,
yes.
Evie.
Oh,
We need
we
to
just need to
unmute you.
unmute you. Yeah.
I have to. Oh,
Yeah,
There
I'm
we go.
very
We
good.
can hear you. Yeah.
It's good. We
Okay.
can
Hi,
hear
Evie.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So is it Evgenia or is it I?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So I have known Evgenia for almost 5 decades. So we're getting there. Not quite, but almost. On and off initially, but after the start of the new millennium, we started getting closer, and we started discussing a little bit about existentialism, a very small kernel, a little discussion group, which grew and grew and grew and grew. In 2004 became Hygneste, which has been a very wonderful contribution, I think, to Greece and to the psychological establishment in Greece generally. I would like to talk more about Evgenia, though. I was attracted by her because of her integrity, always, her deep humanity, and her amazing courage.
Mm-hmm.
She is a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
My God, she is a fighter. She will fight you, she will fight the world, she will fight for what she believes. And that I think she got from her mother, who is one of the women I admire most in my life. An amazing woman, really, an admirable, a brave woman, a woman who looked life in the eye and saw all the horror and all the beauty and was never afraid to look and to pick up the gauntlet. And I think that this has come through to Evgenia, and I think she would be jubilant today, which is a lovely thought to keep. Lovely for me too. I'm very glad that this is a meeting that is celebratory in nature, because one other thing I learned about Evgenia, beyond her knowledge, beyond her wisdom, beyond her ability to share, is her joyfulness. Her love of life, her naughtiness, her ability to just live in the moment. I think she embodies istros, the zest for life. She will go fully into pain, she will go fully into joy, she will go fully into whatever is there. But the enjoyment is always there. And I think the first moment I realized it was when I saw Katerina was talking about her photography, her photographs of cats. I'm not a cat person myself, but she made me see how the cat seizes whatever is there. How it will stretch out in the sun, how it will be fully alert, fully prepared, fully enjoying stretching a limb, just being aware of all of these moments and living them. And every time I look at a cat, I think of Evgenia. I really do. So I can't say I've become a cat person, but I've become more aware of cats, definitely. And of the love of life and the sensitivity to life that they embody. I would like to end by saying that it's very pleasing to me that this is a Socratic medal. Socrates being one of my great heroes, the idea of gnosis avton, knowing yourself, but also being true to yourself, even unto the death. I will not compromise my values, even if that kills me. And that, for me, is very appropriate for Evgenia. So I'm very pleased that she is being recognized in this way today. Evgenica, Sagapo. Pauline.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Thank you, Evie.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Emmy, did you want to say a few words before we then come to the reading, or did you want to wait
No, I
till
think
after?
that Evgenia is going to read a text to us next. I think I'll just say a few words before I actually offer the medal to Evgenia. So it's your turn now. I hope you have your text in front of you and that you have good support, because I know it's going to be quite a serious and moving piece of writing.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you. I also want to express my gratitude to everybody, to you and to the committee and to the advisory board and to everybody that decided to honor me in this kind of way. It's really very special for me. And of course, to thank my husband of 30 years for being very supportive of me throughout. And because of his support, I built this office space where we're in right now and where Gymnasty started. And of course, my nieces and my brother, who, like all children of families that have an ill child, has suffered along with me. And no doubt I will mention as well my mom and my dad, because without them, I wouldn't have lived so long and I wouldn't be the same person. I was very lucky in July. I spent a little bit more private time with Emmy in Vienna during the World Congress of Psychotherapy. And in her usual manner, she said, well, you have to write the book. And the book is going to be called Living with Death. And she planted a seed and I started thinking about it. So I sent her a proposal, and now I'm going to read just a few pieces of what I have sent her, and I hope I will be able to do that.
I'm sure you will.
A vague image in my mind, not quite a memory, more a sensation. I'm lying down. A plastic mask is being lowered towards my small face. My mother's warm hand wraps around mine. A strange, sharp smell fills the air. Colors flash, too bright, and then darkness. I'm 3 years old. The operation is dangerous. The doctors whisper about slim chances. When I wake, I'm in a room sealed beneath a transparent plastic tent. My breaths are labored, each one a small battle. My mother is always there, her presence an anchor in the drifting haze of recovery. Most days blur into routine. Hospital corridors, the rhythmic beating of machines, the white vigilance of nurses. Yet one day remains in my mind, clear and immovable, like a lamppost in the fog. We're sitting in a long, brightly lit hallway, my father, my mother, and me. The walls are white, the floor is white, even the light feels white. We're waiting for an American doctor, a visiting specialist. Around us are other children with their parents. Most are older than me, thin to the bone, faces deformed, the bellies distended in ways I do not yet understand. My doctor opens a door and takes us to another room so I won't be frightened. But I'm not frightened, I'm puzzled. Do the children and I suffer from the same thing? How can that be? My young mind doesn't yet have the words for it, but the question plants a seed. Was what I had so serious? No one told me outright when I was young that my time might be short. Yet somehow I knew. It was not knowledge that came from words, but from a quiet current flowing beneath life. I felt it in urgency of play, in the rare golden moments when I was free from pain or worry. Time felt scarce, too scarce to waste. It wasn't a thought I could articulate. It was a pulse, a driving force that pressed me on. Don't lose time. I must use every fragment of it, gather it, spend it before it slipped through my fingers. I asked myself, in the simple way a child does, will I have enough time to do everything I want? That question never left me. It followed me as I grew, shaping the way I looked at each day, not as something endless, but as something finite, fragile, and infinitely precious. When I was 5, I asked my mother a question that had been growing quietly inside me. Why do I have to go to the hospital and my brother doesn't? She didn't hesitate. She explained simply that I had an illness, he did not, and that I would always need to go for transfusions. There was no drama in her tone, no long explanations, just the bare truth. I never asked again. I never complained. Somehow I accepted it. It was all a matter of chance. Children with my illness were hidden always away from and kept from school. What is the point? The thinking went. They would die early anyway. No expectations, no future, just the quiet shame of a shortened life and a stigma for the whole family. Fortunately, my family did not share that belief. I went to school, I played, I made friends, I learned how to be liked, even popular among my classmates. At school, I did not feel like an outsider. I did not hide my illness, though I rarely spoke about it. Probably because of the way I carried myself, I never experienced any prejudice. I left no room for others to feel sorry for me. The moments I felt sorry for myself were rare and always private. And yet, feelings of inferiority hovered like low clouds. I was determined not to be less than anyone else. But the question, am I good enough, followed me for years. I wanted to prove that I was just as capable, just as worthy as those whose bodies were whole and unthreatened, that carrying an illness did not make me less, nor that it would stop me from having a full life. It was not only about surviving, it was about claiming my freedom and my place in the world. And perhaps without knowing it, I was already learning that chance may deal the cards, but I would decide how to play them. I was around 8 years old when I learned what it truly means to be alone. It happened during one of my regular transfusions. The reaction began with a strange creeping sensation deep in my bones, like a cold wind moving inside me. Slowly it grew into violent shivering. My body no longer obeyed me. My jaw began to snap shut uncontrollably, and I feared I might bite my tongue. My chest tightened with an unbearable pressure. I began to cry. My father, who always accompanied us to the hospital, walked into the room. Just then, he approached, sat beside me, and took my trembling hand. "Why are you crying, my little one?" he asked. By then, it was unusual for me to cry. I managed to whisper, "I'm afraid I'm going to die." I saw the color drawn from his face. He didn't answer. Instead, he gently released my hand and turned and walked out of the room. In that moment, something inside me shifted. I understood wordlessly that even my strong, capable father could not help me here. This was something I had to endure on my own. My life was mine to carry. My fear was mine to face. Years later, when I came across Irving Yalom's idea of existential isolation, I recognized it instantly. No matter how much others love us or stand by our side, there are battles that are ours alone. No one can breathe for us. No one can die for us. And in between, no one can live for us. As a child, I sometimes imagined that I had a guardian angel watching over me. Maybe I did. There were moments when I survived, if by miracle. Recoveries no one expected. Dangers I somehow slipped past. My rational Western-trained mind rejected the idea of guardian angels, past lives, or karmic debts. Yet, I can never entirely silence the quiet wonder that maybe, just maybe, the mysteries of existence are beyond my mind's capacity to grasp. Through all of this, illness, loneliness, discovery, passion, and heartbreak, I have come to see that resilience is not a hardened shield, but a living, breathing flexibility. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward anyway. And authenticity is not something found once and for all, but something chosen again and again in the face of life's impermanence. Perhaps this is what it means to live well, to accept ourselves as beings towards death, as Heidegger said, and yet not to collapse into despair, to affirm with Frankl that life has meaning even in suffering, and that our task is to respond to its questions with integrity. To recognize with Jung that within us is an archetypal self pointing towards wholeness, guiding us to something greater than our egos. To live with resilience, courage, and authenticity, then, is to walk consciously the tension between mortality and meaning. It is to live each moment truthfully, knowing it cannot be repeated, and to embrace the paradox that in our very finitude lies the possibility of transcendence. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Evgenia. You just said all that needs to be said to explain why you are getting the Socrates Medal. You know why it is, don't you? It is because you have lived the wisdom in a very real way. You have earned that strength, and you have a true, full understanding of how all of this works in a way that is genuine and real, and that you started to understand when you were 3 years old and 5 years old and 8 years old. And you have lived with death in the way that Heidegger said it's very hard for human beings to learn to do, to live with anticipatory anxiety about death. But you have had to face that from the earliest time you can remember, and you have done it. You have somehow shown us all how that is done, and how instead of that paralyzing you, it has opened you up. It has made you find what matters in life and to stick to your guns about it. And it's given you this existential courage that we speak about so much, and that is so precious and so extremely rare. And that existential courage comes with existential integrity. And several people have remarked on that, your integrity. And there are many other aspects to that. But I think what should stand above it all is your own witnessing about your own life. And that's why I think this book needs to be written ASAP. And there is so much for us all to learn from this. So, there it is. I am going to award you the Socrates Medal for your pluck, your existential courage, and your great wisdom under fire. And this will be with you within the next few days. You have earned it in the hardest possible way, and you deserve it in the fullest possible way imaginable. Okay? Do you hear what I'm saying? Will you accept it, Evgenia? Will you accept it?
Thank you. I'm greatly honored. And of course I will accept it. And it's it's okay, something I never expected, but
but there it is, your humility again. And that's the other thing, your humility. Sometimes it holds you back, and yet it is a beautiful thing to observe. You do all these things and you have all these strengths, and you're always incredibly humble. And I know we've got Eric Craig, your friend from the United States, who would also like to say a few words about that. Eric, are you ready to join us?
It's very difficult to speak because this is so moving. And I'm very touched that you have just told your story, Evgenia, in the way that you have. It's just such a beautiful story, and you've always kept that quiet. You've never spoken about it. And I certainly agree with everything that people have said. I'm delighted that so many people that love you are surrounding you right now. Will, I noticed from the States, and Anna, and your family. So you and I met for the first time in 2012, I think it was, in China, and we were in a bar, and I was walking through this bar at a World Congress in China, and I heard these Greek voices, and I turned, and there was Evgenia surrounded by her students and colleagues. Katerina was there, other people were there, and my teacher was Klakmastakis, who was a Greek, and I thought immediately, I knew Clark for many, many years. We worked together for many years. And he would have loved to have known that you and your group existed, but especially you. You two would have just loved one another. He would have loved you so much, as all the people here who are close to you do. And all of us could go on for, endless amounts talking about how much you mean to us. But people's comments about your integrity, you've never sought recognition. You've never sought advantage or fame, or your life has been about service. I'm struck by the fact that this is a Socrates Medal. For Socrates, wisdom begins with the care of the soul. And you had to, without even knowing what you were doing, as a child, you had to care for your own soul, and you realized how vital that was, and you spent your life caring for other people's souls. And it was something that's not been mentioned is how much you gave for, this is just one example of so many things that people could, I'm sure, talk about. But so many years you did so much for the thalassemic community worldwide. You traveled all over the world on behalf of those people who had suffered like you. It reminds me of the children you were talking about in the hospital. And I can't, Evie has mentioned your mother. I can't not share this. This is your mother. And Evgenia's mother, and this is a picture of the two of them. And Evgenia's mother, and Evgenia, you and your mother have something in common. In that Evgenia's mother, many of you probably don't know, faced a firing squad twice in Greece and survived. They were lined the women up on that island outside, and they shot every other person, and her mother stood there. And another time they were brought out, and then they canceled the shooting at the last minute. And her mother did that. So your mother also faced death. And so something of her courage is so alive in you. And another thing that strikes me, and this is not a logical presentation at all, but another thing that strikes me is you don't complain. You don't complain about the weekly transfusions. You might mention them. Oh, I've got to get to a transfusion tomorrow. You never complain about this. I remember you and I going on a walk. You fell and broke your arm again, and you didn't complain. You're just such an amazing human being, and I am grateful to count you as a friend. And you so deserve this.
Thank you, Eric. That's very beautiful. Thank you very much indeed. I think Evgenia will need to look at this film again and take it all in, because a lot has been said and it must be quite overwhelming. But I think everybody who didn't know you before this evening will understand what a special person you are and how you absolutely embody the values of existential living and have done so your whole entire life, and that you are an absolute example to us all. And please talk about it and write about it, because it's all very well to be humble, but you also have to be generous and let us learn your lessons, and it not be just you who has learned it, but that we can take some of this with us, and we can remember that these are not just words. When Frankl says, the meaning in suffering, you made that real your whole entire life. And these examples are very few and far between, and we need them so badly. They're precious. It's precious for human beings to be reminded that this is how we can live. And this is what happens when we live like this. And this is our gift to other human beings. And that's what you've done, Evgenia. And we're extremely grateful to you. And we're extremely pleased we've been able to exhibit it a little bit this evening and to give you something back. But it's nothing, of course. It's just a Socrates Medal. But it stands for something. It's an acknowledgement by our community of existentially minded people and psychotherapists. And we honor you and we value you and we hold you up as a shining example, and you will be on our website to show what kind of people we award the Socrates Medal to. Thank you very much for living the life you have lived and for continuing to contribute so much to all of us.
Let's open the microphone so we can have a round of applause. Sebastian, if you can do that for us.
Yay!
Yes, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wow.
Thank you all. Thank you. Very special. It's a very special moment.
Wonderful.
So it's been wonderful to have your family around. It's wonderful to see you all. And it's wonderful to have your friends and colleagues around. And it's wonderful to have all the people who came to the amazing Festival of Life, who have stayed on to celebrate this moment with you. And it's lovely to recognize so many colleagues up there as I look. And I know people will remember this.
And it's so wonderful to see my old friend Elaine Brooks, that we were together at Tufts University, and she's right there.
She's here as well. Do you
Yes.
want her to join us as well? There she is.
Hi, Elaine. Hello.
Hi.
That's great. So you were at Tufts together, but I understand you were in secondary school with Evie, were you?
We were at during our bachelor degree.
Bachelor degree. Okay. So they're both student friends here.
Yes. During my bachelor was with Evie, and during my master's at Tufts was with Elaine. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, it's very telling, isn't it? All these people have come out here this evening to celebrate this with you. Does anybody want to say anything further? Elaine, did you want to say something else, or?
It's hard to speak.
Yes.
I just want to say how proud I am of Evgenia, and to see the growth that she has pursued in her journey that started at the age of 3 and continues today. And I knew in our class that you would succeed by far. And I just feel proud to know you. Thank you.
Fabulous. Is there anybody else in the audience who wanted to say something?
We've got some time if anybody wants to unmute the microphone, and
You're very welcome. Claire, you want to say something on behalf of Fetty?
Yes, I can. Yes, I mean, I just want to say congratulations, Evgenia. You've made a huge contribution to Fetty. I haven't had many opportunities to kind of talk to you, but I've always been, sort of inspired by your presence and your words and your contribution to Fetty is always going to be there. So and I was just very pleased to be able to be part of the advisory board to make the decision to award you the medal. So that's been really lovely as well, to be able to honour your contribution.
Thank you. Thank you.
I could say a
Long
quick
may it
word.
last. Yes, Digby. I can hear you, can't see you.
Okay. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Now I can, but you need to put a light on yourself.
Oh, right. Yes. So I just wanted to say very quickly that I'm very glad you've accepted it. Evgenia, you were a bit reluctant, and I didn't know why, and I still don't know why, because you obviously heartily deserve our recognition in so many different ways.
Yes.
When I've known you a while, I guess, not very closely, but the one thing that's always struck me about you is you're a very deep person. There are lots of aspects to you and hidden parts of you. And personally, that's one of the things I very much respect in another person. That they don't wear their heart on their sleeve. And in your case, it's not just your heart you don't wear on your sleeve, it's everything you don't wear on your sleeve. But the deeper you go, the more interesting and lovable it is, obviously, in you. And your family obviously sees that. Eric sees that. It's wonderful. So I think we will consider you're the recipient of the Socrates Medal whose life is exemplary, not so much their great contributions to philosophy or theory or anything, although you've made those, but your life will be what we'll hold up to remember and try and emulate as much as we can.
It's a whole way of being, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes, but don't keep it so much of a mystery, though. You know, it took me far too long to understand that and to start to see the depth in you. I was looking in the wrong place for a long time, and it's only really when you started to speak out about existential courage and things like that that I realized you were speaking from absolute understanding and true experience, and not just in a bookish way at all.
Yes, thank you. Well, you have to understand also, a lot of you talked about my mother, you know, and she was indeed a very special person, and I owe her a lot. She never really spoke about her achievements. She never really spoke about her life until we were much older. We never knew what she had done. So, this is the way I was brought up, that you do what you do and you do your fair share, and there's no reason why you should just go around saying, oh, I did this or I did that or I did that. So it is it's all a matter of heritage.
Yeah, that's true too. And there is a lot of strength in being secretive about your strength, isn't there? It's like, you have that secret resource inside of you, even though other people might be underestimating you. You know that you can have confidence in yourself.
Yes, because my niece Eleni, when I talked with her about, because I was shocked at when you. So I talked with quite a few people, and with Christina and so on, and Katerina and Eric, and I said, well, why me? I mean, I don't. And Eleni said, well, you have to look into yourself and see why you were so shocked. And
That's a good point. Yes.
yeah, and I did look into myself, and then I did wonder, is it a matter of low self-esteem? Is it that I don't really believe
No, it's not
so
about low
on and so on?
self-esteem. No.
But it wasn't that, and it's not that. I feel very content with what I have managed to do in my life.
Yes.
And I will die with a feeling of completeness, which is something I always say also to students at Ignis, that, this is what the awareness of death brings to us.
Absolutely.
You don't have time to lose, so you better do what you want to do. And you don't end up like Irv said, with regrets. I haven't done that, and I haven't.
No.
So I'm pretty content with what I have achieved. But I don't feel that it is anything extremely special, because it's my life,
Come on. It's
I
extremely
did what I did.
special. As you very well know, you are one of the oldest persons alive with thalassemia, and you were expected not to live past your 10th birthday. And you've had to live with that tension and that fear your entire life. And instead of becoming disabled with it, you have shown the world what you can do. And you have contributed all this care and this understanding and this wisdom to all these other people. And it seems like there's a lot more to it than I even know. When Eric was telling me about what you have done for the thalassemia community, I'm not even aware of any of that. So clearly, Evgenia, come on, you are an exceptional person, and there are very few people who are faced with that kind of crisis, ongoing, lifelong crisis to live with, and that kind of medical need to survive your whole life. I mean, that's a scary thought to most of us, and all of us realize what it takes to live through that, and then to do all the things you have done and will continue to do, because this is only a step on the way. I hope that this evening, is about you understanding who you are and taking yourself a little bit more seriously, and make sure people hear about it, because it's very good to be modest, but it's also good to speak about what needs to be spoken about. And I hope you hear me loudly and clearly.
I wonder, though, Emmy, whether we should consider having a Xanthippe medal to go along with the Socrates Medal.
Yeah, but that's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
George is sitting in the shadow.
Yes.
But I'm sure he's made some contribution to all of this too.
Would George like to say something, maybe?
Yes.
That's a very good point. George?
I don't speak English very well.
Doesn't matter.
So I'm a very happy person, because Evgenia is my life. Evgenia is a very good person. Is a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
Lovely woman. And very smart woman, because chose me for her husband.
I see you can teach her something about boldness and not being overly modest. Very good indeed. Well done. Thank you, George. Thank you. Eric, yes?
Yes, I wondered if about Dmitry, your brother, if Evgenia, I would.
Yes.
What is it like for you to hear all this about your sister, your beloved sister?
Yes. Can't have been easy to have her as a sister.
I'm very proud that she is my sister, and that's it, because we live together since she's born 1959.
Wow. Oh, beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, but it must have affected you also to know that you were a healthy boy and that your sister had an illness.
For me, she was always healthy.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Evgenia?
Yeah, I know a lot of people feel that way. And it is very interesting because I also, for many years, considered myself as healthy. It's now that I'm getting older and I have more complications. And this is probably why for me, it was my life and going for my transfusions and doing, my chelation therapy and everything I needed to do in order to survive and to live and to have a life. Was just a matter of fact. It wasn't something that I complained or I felt sorry for myself. I never felt sorry for myself. That was it, as I said, it was a matter of chance. I was born with that and I had to live with that. So, and except if I had extra things happening, like I had fragile bones and I often fell and hit myself and had to be stranded in bed for days and stuff. Then, I realized that it was something. But I learned to spend a lot of time by myself. And I used my time a lot thinking, reading.
Yeah. So you developed your internal world and you became very self-sufficient, obviously, in that process.
Yes. But I do realize that the way I carried myself around, that's why I said, even in school, I didn't feel any prejudice because of the way I played, I did everything everybody else did.
Exactly. So you were like the others.
Really understand that I had an illness, except if I would mention something.
Well, it's been the same amongst our colleagues, I'm sure most colleagues will be shocked to find out about all of this, and they had no idea for many years, just working alongside you and seeing you as, the same as everyone else. So that's strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's real strength. But I realize we've come to the end of a very beautiful ceremony and a very special moment. And I'm looking for John because John is the one who manages all these transitions and all of that. And he's gone.
I'm just over here. Yeah, it was just so nice to have so many of us on the screen. There wasn't quite enough space.
Okay,
Here we
you're
are.
being modest too. Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. What a beautiful ceremony. Just absolutely wonderful. So thank you to everybody that's come to support the ceremony and to say, I feel so deeply touched. It's been really emotional. I could see lots of tears on the screen as we were going through the ceremony. And Evgenia, so wonderful to see you accept the award too. So thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Fabulous.
This is a ceremony we're going to remember, Amy, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. Absolutely. I've never cried so many tears at a ceremony as today. And Evgenia, you said you might cry, but you weren't crying much at all, were you?
Well, there were certain points when
You were on the verge.
I had practiced so much.
Well, we're going to send you this piece of video, Evgenia, so you can watch it and just soak in.
Yeah, let's take a screenshot as well, shall we?
Oh, let's do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Yeah.
Can we all smile for the screenshot?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, great.
Because in the beginning, when you said it, every single word I read, I was crying, and I said, that won't work. I better practice.
Well, it's been so wonderful to have your family here, your friends, your colleagues. Just thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful.
Yes, thank you all for being part of it. It's been a wonderful ending to a wonderful festival.
Thank you.
And thank you Thank you, John and Sandra and the whole team. You've done a fabulous job, as always. We're so lucky to have this collaboration. It works so very, very well. And I already look forward to creating next year's festival and starting to think about what we're going to do then.
Yes, it's going to be exciting, another great adventure. And well, I just also want to say, on behalf of Sandra and myself, just what a privilege and an honor it is to host the festival, to host this ceremony, and to be collaborators with the existential movement. And with you, Emmy, in particular, it's just always such a wonderful journey. And the festival is something different for us to do together.
Mm.
But you kind of saw it in your mind's eye, and it's just been perfect, Emmy, hasn't it? This last day and a half has just been really, really wonderful. So thank you, Emmy, and thank you to all the colleagues at the existential movement that we've been working with.
And all the wonderful speakers today and last night.
Yes.
Everybody has contributed so much. And thank you all for coming.
Wonderful to see you all. Wonderful to see you all.
Yes.
It's been an incredible group of us together, hasn't it? Thank you.
Yes, it has.
The way that we're together, it does make such a big difference. And I want to say my thank you to the online events team as well. Yeah. Sandra and I are always very, very proud of our team. And so thank you. And particularly Sebastian, who's been in this room all the way through the festival with us.
Thank you, Sebastian.
Yes, excellent work. Last thing we usually do is open up the microphones if anybody would like to say goodbye on the way out. We love to hear your voice, and we can't wait to see you next year.
Yes, I'll say goodbye to Evgenia and her wonderful family.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.